Welcome back, everyone, to another set of matches we have here in the Oceania Long Note Tournament. Round of 36 here. We've got flowerful versus, I should have probably thought about how to pronounce this name, N1ku2um3. Here, going to be seed 18 versus seed 47. I am Potassium F, going to be joined alongside by Ivan. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I hope you're doing great too. And if you're wondering, his name is actually pronounced Nikuzume. I think the two is supposed to be a Z.
That makes sense. I was trying to figure out what the two is supposed to be because I'm just like, okay, one is an I, three is like an E, you know.
The two is many things. Yeah, So Flowerful, this year has been she has been really, up and coming. Not really up and coming, but really good players since the start of 2025. We've seen their tweets and their scores all around, and Nikuzume too, with very fast improvements recently from the Osumania Twitter score account. I hope to see a very good matchup against each other.
Yeah, definitely going to be looking forward to see. I'm not too familiar myself with Nikuzume in particular, but I know, especially from Japan in recent years, I've seen quite a lot of these newer Japanese players really excel at some of these like LN skill sets. I guess I kind of always think of them as like kind of inspired by the generation of like Crew K and Ice Cake, that kind of thing. But they've definitely been upgrading a lot of their newer players in terms of tournament play. So going to be looking forward to seeing what Nikuzume can do against a high seed opponent here. Flowerful, definitely one of these like tournament veterans at this point, really strong with this LN skill set.
Yeah, definitely. And with it's a bit weird to say this, but like this guy has really long fingers. I don't know if you've seen their Twitter. Holy crap! Nikuzume, on the other hand, recently has been, like I said again, like improving really like a lot for the past month or so. If I'm not wrong, this guy went from Alpha Dan to Gamma. I mean, really a bit cringe of a comparison, but just shows how much improvement that this guy has gone through in the span of 1 month. And I hope to see Nikuzume put up a good performance, because if I remember correctly, yesterday when I was watching one of the streams, one of the top seeds and fighting the lower seeds had a really close match.
Yeah, absolutely. There is definitely a lot of potential here, especially early on in the match, or in the tournament, I should say. These maps not quite at the same level of difficulty as some of the qualifier maps, so even though the seeds do say there is a bit of a difference between the two, maybe when it comes to these easier maps, a bit more accuracy focus, less, I guess, physical skill required to be able to keep the combo of these ones, that may benefit some of these lower seeded players, but we know that flowerful is also quite strong when it comes to the accuracy and consistency, so we'll see what the angle is from Nikuzume. We are going to be seeing the first protect coming in shortly, it seems. And I guess kind of looking at some of the scores that they've been that they were getting in the qualifiers, definitely seems to be more of a density player, I would say. At least from the scores here, maybe going to want to ban out one of the coordination maps against a player like Flowerful.
Yeah, I agree. So like, if you want to have a chance to beating Flowerful, I would more suggest going for accuracy instead of density, since this guy, he's really good at like very speedy stuff and very dense stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Flowerful also putting in a guess. Is this a form of like mind games happening here? You're guessing what your opponent is about to protect right to their face.
He's trying to play mind games with Nikuzume, but let's see if he'll take the bait. I guess.
Maybe also Flowerful revealing what might be the best strategy for Nikuzume. We'll see. Who knows? But still waiting on that protect coming in.
It's a double-edged sword. Either they get it or they don't.
Yeah, rock paper scissors. Hey, I'm about to use rock. Just letting you know beforehand, you know. Okay, waiting here. I'm not sure if that was supposed to be a protect or a cat face from Nikuzume.
They're taking their very sweet time talking about the maps, I guess.
And I think, I mean, you know, it is taking a bit of time. I think after, yeah, maybe just not understanding the protect system, that's fine. That does happen, of course, especially if it is kind of like a first tournament. I'm not sure if they've played other tournaments before, but sometimes it can be a little bit confusing for the first time.
Understandable. I don't think this person has been in any tournaments. Pretty sure this is their first one, and on such a high caliber as well, which is already impressive.
Yeah. I mean, qualifying top 64 in a tournament like this, with the number of names that you see stacked up in the qualifiers, there is a pretty impressive first showing for a tournament, gotta say. He's trying to protect the tiebreaker. Oh yeah,
that is crazy. That is crazy.
I like it. I like it. Confident with the hard maps.
I don't think I don't think he gets it.
That's fine. That's fine. Well, we'll see. Other than the tiebreaker, of course, we'll see what they want to try and protect. But I mean, a good sign if they get asked to pick your most comfortable map and they decide to pick the tiebreaker, then maybe if it goes the distance, there are some chances. Who knows?
Maybe he's just that confident. Maybe he's just that goated. He's just trying to show off the flowerful. Who knows?
Yeah, it definitely happens. I think there's also a bit of definitely language barrier as well. Of course, English probably not going to be their first language here. It says, wait, stage 3?
Stage 3? What?
Stage 3. Which one's stage 3? Is that going to be coordination 3?
Coordination 3?
Oh, coordination 1 because it has stage 3 in the title.
Oh,
in the nickname. Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Actually, you know, that reminds me, like back in the day before we had like all of these slots. You know, nowadays a lot of people just kind of refer to each of the map as their like slot name. But you know, back in my day, long time ago, 100 years ago, we used to just say the name of the map, the name of the song, or the difficulty name sometimes, you know.
Yeah, I don't think I'm old enough to to be at that era.
No.
Yeah,
back when
I
there
just,
were no
yeah.
slots.
Yeah,
we didn't even used to have slots. It was just like here's a bunch of like 13 maps just all clumped together. There's no order.
The more you know every day, I guess. Seems like Nikuzume, I think he finally understood what the protect and ban system is. He's taking his time to choose a map he's comfortable with.
Yeah, I think they could definitely get a pass the first time here. Bit of a learning experience for sure. As long as, you know, it's not eating into the time too much.
Oh, he banned the geometry that song.
Protect the...
Oh, protect. Oh,
yeah,
my
the
bad.
Tech 3, okay. So now Flowerful going to get the next protect, gonna see what they want to be their most comfortable on. Wonder what that's gonna be. Definitely a player that I can imagine can play pretty much all of these. But okay, Density 3, actually one of the popular density maps that I've been seeing so far in this this round.
Definitely, since it's also a popular song from a popular game. You know.
Oh yeah, of course, of course.
For
That
sure,
might be
for sure.
playing into it a little bit, for sure.
Both protected songs are quite popular in their respective games, so you will definitely be seeing those getting played today.
Flowerful not feeling the tech today, but maybe that's just a bait to get Nikuzume to pick tech. Who knows? Again, the mind game's happening in chat.
Ooh, he might be good enough to show off, hoping Nikuzumi takes the bait. Yeah, like you said.
Will Nikuzume try to ban the tiebreaker?
Shocking news. It's bannable. We just never knew.
Pick the worst map.
Flowerful having a playful banter here for the mapper.
There's gonna be some shade thrown to whoever gets banned in this upcoming ban. High stakes ban here from Nikuzume.
Upcoming mappers, take note. We must map everything against Flowerful. They hate you. They hate you, man. Never mind.
Yeah. No, we're all just having some jokes here, but we'll see. Given they protected the tech map, I wonder if they're going to be banning one of the maybe density or coordinations, perhaps. Maybe thinking about coordination 1 or 3, maybe.
Honestly.
Yeah, he does try to do the tiebreaker.
Is this guy taking the tournament seriously? We will never know.
That's good. I like it again. It would actually be legendary if he did try to ban thermodynamics.
He
That would
bans
be
his own protect.
Oh yeah, okay. Phony being banned. This was kind of within expectations, I guess. It's one of those maps that, especially if you're not really used to a lot of tournament play, it is one of those maps that can be really tricky to be able to like nail the timings with the releases. It's not a type of map that you would always necessarily play outside of tournaments, unless you were just a really big LN fan.
Interesting. I mean, I think everyone here will be a big LN fan considering
for sure.
Tournament. It's a tournament about LNs after all.
That is the name of the game here. No real weak players when it comes to LN for sure, so we will see. So now it is Niku's first pick, gonna get to pick what they want. The ref did not specify that he couldn't pick one of the banned maps though, so I wonder if that's gonna come out.
Everyone telling them not to pick tiebreaker.
Okay, so what do we think he's going to pick? I actually have no idea. There has not really been much indication so far of what they'd want to. I guess the most straightforward assumption would just be like, he'll probably pick his protect first. You know?
Yeah, it makes sense since, yeah, he protected it after all. Maybe his first 2 picks will be both techs and not the one that's banned, obviously.
Saying that they don't know that much about the map pool, I'd believe that, but I think that's also kind of, I mean, a lot of people kind of face this dilemma sometimes, right? There's always going to be maps that you're not exactly sure about in the pool.
But what if he was playing mind games against Flowerful this entire time? Maybe he's also playing mind games. You will never know. But then again, I would assume he'll be picking the protect first.
Will we get into the first map? That's the question of the day.
It's been 15 minutes. It's taking quite a while. He doesn't know the map.
Wait, if he doesn't know the map pool list, how has he found the maps to protect and ban? Actually, yeah, how did he find the name of maps to protect and ban? Was he like
Wild guess? Wild
surely you
guess.
can't randomly guess the like or like trying to remember from the showcase or like watching the showcase live or something like that?
Maybe he's just playing around. We don't
Or
know. We don't know what he's doing.
maybe he was looking at like past matches, like an MP link or something like that, and trying to. Okay,
Ooh,
gonna be picking Reymay actually.
interesting. Interesting.
So
He picks he bans a coordination, he protects a tech, and then he picks a coordination map. It's a interesting first pick from him.
definitely different style of coordination overall though. So I felt like Phony more of like the newer kind of, I guess more like vocal dumpy kind of coordination is how I kind of think of it in my own head. This one, I guess, a little bit older, a little bit more of a classic style of coordination here.
True, true. And the patterns are simple enough, and it's not too dense. But what they have to be careful is the 1-6 that might throw off some people in this map.
It definitely am going to be able to see how both of the players perform here. Don't really know what to expect at this point. It's been so long that I've lost my my initial train of thought when it comes to these two players, but we are getting into the first map. Okay.
Train of thought is that WC1 in qualifiers?
No way. Accidental reference. But here we go. Start of this map here, and it looks like flowerful off to a very good start accuracy-wise. Nikuzume dropping a little bit, but is actually recovering the accuracy quite quickly, so should be able to catch up in time.
And I believe flowerful just dropped their first 200, which is not really good, and allowing Nikuzumi to slowly catch up. Only a 0.2% difference in the first quarter.
Yeah, this actually is, all things considered, not that large, especially considering I'm seeing Nikuzume increasing the accuracy. Does get a little bit of an act drop down there below 99.6. Flowerful is increasing it back above 99.8, so a little bit of a solid lead here for Flowerful, but only going to amount to about 2,000 points.
Yeah, if any one of these players get like 3 200s or something, it might just be match over unless they're both consistent enough to hold the entire map. But given the caliber of these players, I assume they can hold it long enough. And Flowerful, no, Nikuzumi dropping another 200, going below 99.6.
Yeah, every single one of these 200s is quite costly because both players seem to be fairly comfortable with the combo. So this accuracy is going to matter quite a lot. Halfway through though, still a decent amount of the map left, and this is only about 4,000 points in the lead of Flowerful.
The score is quite close considering the massive seed difference, but you never know. The underdogs might just show up and beat everyone, like in this case right now, but doesn't seem to be happening. Flowerful does drop below 99.8 and going back to 99.8. Nikuzume holding his 99.6, but nothing seems to be changing.
Yeah, still both players staying consistent throughout most of the map. It feels like these accuracies have not really budged all that much. And of course, both the FCs still intact as well. That's going to keep Flowerful in the lead in this last section of the map. And as long as they hold on for a little bit more, it does look like it's about to be a breakpoint.
It seems like the first point will go to Flowerful. 993k, wow, that is insanely impressive.
Almost 994 even. And a strong FC for both players, but we can see most of this lead coming from like the ratio and the 200 count, just the ACK overall looking super strong for Flowerful here.
Definitely a good showcase on the seed difference, but then again, such a huge seed difference, yet the score difference is so tight.
Yeah, small enough score difference that I think like maybe one fairly messy miss from flowerful would be enough for Nikazuma to be able to take that point, but it is going to be no misses for either player. flowerful takes an early break point, and now they get to pick whatever they want to, whether it be their protect or another map first. We'll see.
Seems like Flowerful is a bit unwarmed, however, still beating Nikuzume though. And they'll be picking Density 2, not going for their own Protect yet. Interesting.
I wonder why they're unwarmed. If there could be any reason behind it.
Could be playing mind games, we never know.
I'm just pretending to be unwarmed.
It's the trick by enemies.
No, it's like the thing that I always see in tournaments. You know, people do this in MWC all the time. It's like you always see in chat just before the map starts, like, "Oh no, I suck at this map," or like, "I haven't played this map," or "sight reading," or something like that, and then they MVP the lobby every time. It's like, what are you kidding me? You're you are just making this up.
God, I mean, they're good enough to show off. I'm not gonna complain about it. They're good enough to show off. Who cares?
Yeah, they're trying to lower expectations going into the map, you know, just so they can pull up some ridiculous scores. But here we go. We are getting into the second map, it looks like. flowerful looking to go after these density picks.
Trying to challenge the Seat 47 player straight with density is interesting. And oh, it seems like Nigazumi doesn't have a good start, dropping below 99 and then going back to 99.4. Powerful holding a comfortable 99.9. Interesting.
Yeah, this is one of the more straightforward maps, at least snapping wise. This is probably the one with the least amount of like wacky releases of the whole pool. So if you can keep up with the speed and the density, this one should be, I guess, relatively straightforward to get good accuracy on. We can see flowerful 99.9 is extremely strong right now. Nikazuma does manage to improve the accuracy, now just about 99.6, but still trailing a little bit behind.
But one good thing about both players is they're both consistent, so if one of them slips up, it could be just a lost map for that person. So Powerful holding a confident 99.89. Holy.
Yes, super strong ratio. We can see how centered that bar is at the bottom there. Nikazuma also kind of finding a little bit of like consistency now, like stabilizing around 99.6. It's not really going any higher than that, it looks like, though. So this lead is going to stay put as we progress to the second half of the map.
Hopefully both players stay consistent, since this match is actually quite close with a 5,000 score difference. But if Flower misses even once, it could go over to Nikozumi right away. But it doesn't seem like it will happen considering how consistent this guy has been playing. Holy.
Yeah, looking a bit too comfortable here for flowerful so far. And Nikazuma at this point just really has to hope for a mistake to come out, because there is not really any way of matching this 99.88% act from the side of Nikazuma as we're approaching the end of the map already.
Final quarter, final chorus, you know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure both players will be FCing this because they're both really consistent right now.
Yeah, again, another strong 2 FCs coming up for both of them, it looks like, in this last couple of patterns. And once again, looking like flowerful is going to win the point just off of this accuracy.
That is insane. That is insane. What? 96k and 1/200. Holy.
Oh, that's a nice ratio too.
Holy, the ratio difference between these two.
Yeah, big ratio difference here. We can see the difference in the accuracy ability just overall. Despite Nikazuma doing really well combo-wise, this is 2 full combos in a row for both players.
Yeah, I mean, all 64 players in the round of 64 must be really good at combo. The only difference between all of them must only be egg at this point, because the differences between seed 18 and seed 47, that big of a difference, it's crazy.
And if I were to kind of like think about what map Nikuzume would want to play the most, I think unfortunately it would have to be the Tech 2, which is already banned away. You know, I feel like Nikuzume definitely wants to pick a map that is a little bit more chokeable, that maybe flowerful could potentially find some of these misses on, you know, something a bit less comfortable than that Density 2 that we just saw. Because the combo has to be the way that Nikuzume gets into the match.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, combo will be the one taking Nikuzume through these maps, and what any miss from flowerful, I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna give Nikuzume 3 points. So maybe he might choose Tech to throw flowerful off from their consistency right now. We'll see.
Yeah, Tech would be a good shout. Tech 3, maybe looking at that one more than the other one. Tech 1 a little bit more like flowy-ish. I just think maybe I guess anything that's kind of away from that density pool that we just saw, because that was kind of a dominant accuracy difference there.
Maybe Niku was using these two maps to test the waters. We'll never know, but hopefully he can come back with at least a point.
And we'll see what Nikuzume decides to pick here. Maybe going back to check the map pool a little bit.
Seems like Niku is back, but let's see what he'll pick.
Yeah, having a bit of a think here.
Maybe he doesn't know there's a timer thing on tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to learn, kind of like first time in the tournaments. Tournaments have kind of like evolved over the years. There's a lot of stuff going on nowadays in tournaments that I guess if you're just kind of like coming into for the first time without knowing anything, it can be, I guess, a little bit overwhelming. A lot of systems to learn here. Is that a pick?
I think that's coordination 1. I think is it?
Wait, is it?
I don't know. Tejimo Yomik.
Oh, it's the artist name, right? Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wildcard 1. Yeah. Okay. I was not familiar with the artist name. It seems I just knew the song name.
Not only is he throwing the flowerful and the referee off, he's also throwing the commentators off. Interesting game plan here.
Okay. Wildcard 1 though, going for the wildcard picks. I like testing out a little bit of some of the different pools is always a good idea when you are a little bit behind. To really try and poke for what kind of maps you might have more of an advantage on. Because those first 2 scores definitely from flowerful looking quite scary.
Yeah, with both scores being above 99.8. Oh, wait, actually, no, the first map being 99.7. He does have to be careful, and hopefully he can come back with better ag and hope for a mistake from Powerful to get his first point.
And here we go, getting into it. Map number 3 now.
Seems like Flowerful is very comfortable with this map at the start, 99.9, and Nikuzume, although holding the combo, the accuracy is not really keeping up, but is holding the combo, so he could be hoping for a miss from Powerful or just testing the waters with this map.
Yeah, flowerful does get a couple 200s there, so it does drop down to 99.8, but still comfortably in that accuracy lead. Nikuzume also dropping a few 200s here and there. That's hovering around that 99.55 mark.
Even with those 200s from flowerful, their ratio is still insanely good enough to be above 99.8, right now 99.82, although just dropped to 200. Nikuzume does seem to climb back up to 99.6 though, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, accuracy is closing ever so slightly. Not a gigantic amount of difference between these two accuracies right now. As Nikuzume actually still climbing in that accuracy as well. Maybe it's going to be able to hit 99.7 at some point.
This could be a closer match than we thought. He was at 99.4 at the start. Now, nearing the start of the second half of the map, he's reaching. He's increasing. He's increasing. What?
Yeah, both players doing a little bit of increasing their AC here as we're getting into the second half. Flowerful now on that high 99.8 and still maintaining that lead by 4,000 points. It's just one miss difference though. If either player finds any of those misses, so far 0 misses in the match.
Yeah, now that you mention it, neither players have missed yet so far on the two maps. And right now it seems like we'll be going over another SC again. And Nikuzume is about to reach. Oh, never mind, he just dropped that 200. Flowerful increasing by 0.01. Not a big improvement, but still notable improvement.
Yeah, we've kind of reached that point now where both players feel like they've gotten comfortable with their accuracies. They've kind of balanced out to these high 99.8 and high 99.6 respectively. But that is looking like it's not quite going to be enough for Nikuzume to be able to catch any kind of lead here, unless flowerful does mess up in the ending. But it is definitely not looking super likely on that front. Yeah, really strong score from both players. This time Nikuzume almost getting that 990k themselves. So strong performance, but not quite enough. 995k is the score here from flowerful.
Wow, speed 18 and already doing this good. We can already expect way more from higher seeds, but right now, flowerful 995k and only 200s for this map.
They're just looking extremely comfortable and consistent with a lot of these maps so far. And 3-0 up, that's the second breakpoint as well. And flowerful gets their own pick now. Wonder if it's going to just be that protect being picked up at this point.
Yes, since flowerful did mention that they're not warmed, I think Nikuzume is only hoping that they don't get fully warmed up. So he has a chance to fight back.
And oh, it's gonna be density 1 instead, so the roll 2 to pick which density it looks like between the two left over here. So gonna be going with the slower of the two, lower BPM, a little bit more kind of coordination slash release involved compared to that density 3.
I don't think either players are going to be picking their protects this round as Nikuzume starts fighting back.
I mean, the real power play would be after this map for Nikuzume to pick density 3.
It would be a miracle if he just comes back. But right now, I think we should focus on density 1. Yeah.
Yeah, flowerful did look super strong on that density 2 pick, but this one, I think, going to be a little bit harder to maintain that kind of accuracy on, so you might expect some slightly lower accuracies on this one compared to density 2. But here we go. Fourth map here. Flowerful's own pick, so we'll see if they manage to get up to that 4-0 in the match.
Nikuzume actually quite comfortable with the start, holding 19.8, very close to flowerful. This is definitely a switch up from. Never mind. I take back what I said. But then again, still pretty close. 99.7, still quite close to flowerful. A really good switch up from previous two maps. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a big improvement with the ratio here, it looks like, from Nikuzume. Holding very strong ratio. Still a couple of 200s here and there, but maintaining this 99.7 for now. As flowerful, they're on the 99.9 themselves, so very strong performance, at least for the first third here for both of the players. Not going to get any easier later on this match, though, so in this map, so we might be seeing some of these accuracies slip towards the end. We'll see.
Yeah, considering this is a short map, you would really not want to get any mistakes on this map. And Nikuzume hitting 99.7 and flowerful still holding there at 99.9.
Yeah, a couple more 200s here for Nikuzume, going to drop down below that 99.7, but flowerful also does lose the 99.9 briefly. As we're already halfway in, this is 4,000 points just about in the lead for flowerful. But definitely within striking distance if there is a miss. We still haven't seen one of those so far this match.
Yeah, strong scores from both players, like two-way FCs for 3 maps in a row. And Nikuzume seems to be holding the 99.64. Flowerful still on the very strong 99.85 and the high 99.8s. But as we move into the last quarter, the last course, I think all Nikuzume could hope is flowerful to make a mistake, but he is also making a lot of 200s himself, which is not good.
Yeah, definitely not ideal here, but still maintaining this close kind of gap, but it's a real gap that's been existing between them. For these, a little bit more 200s at the end for Nikuzume, but it looks like they're going to close out with another 2 full combos. 995k once again for flowerful. 986k solid FC for Nikuzume, but again, not going to be enough just for the FC if flowerful also is finding these FCs.
Quite unfortunate for Nikuzume. He hit so much 200s at the ending. Maybe if he did, he could have gotten at least a 990k to make the match look more close and more stressful for flowerful. But then again, flowerful's insane ratio is still carrying him.
And now this is match point already. Nikuzume gets the next pick. So we'll decide to go to wherever they want to for this one here.
Maybe he'll pick...
Nikuzume decides to, well, almost tries to pick the map that was just played.
Maybe he wants another try. Maybe he wants a rerun. You never know.
They realized it looks like in time. But we'll see what they decide to go for. Cat Chase. Okay, we're going to be seeing Tech 1 coming out here. So one of the technical picks going to be picked up here. Not the one that was protected, but another one nonetheless. This one also being quite short, 2 minutes long. And technical in the sense of it being kind of like a very, I guess, like dump style LN map. A little bit of like swing rhythm going on here as well. So pretty tricky to be able to get your accuracy up on a map like this.
Yeah, maybe Nikuzume was just waiting for their moment, playing all these maps, giving flowerful the point, and finally picking a map that they might be more comfortable in since he protected one of those maps.
Okay, potentially the last map we're going to be seeing here if flowerful does manage to win it again. But we'll see. Nikuzume, this is the last chance to be able to get 1 point on the board at the very least. And at the very least, we have touched all of the kind of categories of map pool. So different maps have been tried.
Start of the map, flowerful. Wow, holding a 99.93 is insane, but As we move to the middle of the map, I think Nikuzume is hoping for flowerful to make a mistake on the more techy, dumpy map patterns, since this is a tech map after all.
Yeah, definitely. That has to be the goal of Nikazuma right now. Accuracy just seems to be consistently in favor of flowerful. Not really much Nikazuma can do, honestly. There's not really the fault of Nikazuma here. It's just like, how are you supposed to compete against the 99.9, right?
Yeah, there's really nothing you can do, considering even if it's just seed 18, it's already getting this strong and this competitive. Both players still holding the full combo. There's already a two-way full combo for 4 maps in a row. Could we go for all maps full combo?
Yeah, we might be able to see 10 out of 10 full combos this match, but still half a map to go. We'll see. And it's going to be actually Nikazuma with a really strong accuracy themselves, 99.7 right now, not too far behind flowerful. And in fact, flowerful does drop a lot of accuracy there down to the 99.7 range themselves. So hang on, this is much closer than it has been in previous maps act-wise.
This must be Niku's game plan right here, is to hopefully gain better ag against Flowerful on the tech maps, and then hopefully Flowerful makes a mistake so Niku can get a point.
Yeah, it's decently close right now, like 1,000 points in the favor of flowerful. Nikazuma is holding strong with this 99.7 right now.
But it seems like, oh, it's the last quarter of the map, and it doesn't seem like anyone's making any mistakes.
Yeah, Nikazuma does drop a little bit of the accuracy. Flowerful not dropping any more accuracy after that initial mess up, and now it's going to be the end of the match. Flowerful on the mainstream here being MMTTYY versus Klobuck. So more familiar names, really. Basically, all of the names that I'm seeing in this tournament are fairly familiar, very strong tournament players all around. So make sure you stick around for that one. And we've got plenty more matches happening this weekend.
All right, thank you everyone for watching. Yeah, right now you can go watch the other match which is happening right now. So if you want to, yeah, that will be all from us. See you in 45 minutes, I guess.